Okay, Alex, it's July 26, 2013. We're out here with Dan Mater, and this is Farm at Tammany. And Dan, we're standing amongst the two greatest technological achievements of the century, but there's a third one out there that we're looking at after 30 years. But what I wanted to point out, in 1870, it was barbed wire that won the West, stopped the cattle drives and allowed us to settle the Great Plains. And it was the plow that allowed us to kill it and bring it to life. And of course, here's the tool. And many years of plowing, and you haven't plowed in 30 years on this field, is that right?
That's right.
So we figure there's about an inch every 10 years of topsoil out here.
And with the plow, when it turns over and creates a layer, there are family documentaries talking about the ditches that were every 3 feet, about 6 to 8 inches wide and 2 or 3 inches deep, every 3 feet. And the water was leaving and taking the soil with it. And the limiting factor in production here today is the fact that we don't have enough soil.
All no-tillers want moisture. They're looking for moisture and trying to get it in the ground evenly, and of course the plow didn't do it. And this particular field in 1983 was plowed in the center.
Yeah.
You remember that? And then you had me come in with the drill and we custom seeded it, or did you run the drill? I can't remember.
No, it was custom seeded.
Yeah, we custom seeded it. Yeah, seeded the barley. And
then the next spring we seeded conventional barley on the plowed ground, and the no-till barley beat it by between 1,000 and 1,500 pounds to the acre. It was better where it was no-till.
Unbelievable.
But it was super wet under all that straw.
Yeah.
And the plowed ground was real dry in that top.
Well, I remember being out here with the shovel, and Greg Schmick and I were out there, and the water was actually moving sideways in the plowed ground. There was a plow layer down there. So the plow was limiting the yield potential in these drier areas.
And the other thing the plow does in this country is it creates hard pan. I mean, the hard pan is sort of there, but it's disappeared now. You can't see it unless you're in an airplane and you have a stressful year where the crop is stressed from lack of moisture. You can still see those areas.
Yep.
But when I was a kid, the plow turned all the residue under, and as a result, those slick spots didn't have any grain in them.
Yeah.
You could walk around in areas that had no grain.
No grain. Yep.
And that's one of the big increases we got in production here, is we got what we call those slick spots to begin to produce, and they produce pretty good. And then on the real shallow and dry years, those are definitely showing up.
Well, on the other edge of the field is the Snake River Canyon, coming up from southern Idaho, Boise, and it's joining the Clearwater, which is just to the 20 miles this direction. No, maybe 10 miles to the Clearwater.
Mm-hmm.
And so salmon habitat, steelhead, fishing, high quality, and trying to stop the loss of nutrients through the bottom. And so there's some real key financial incentives to keep the nutrients in the upper part of the profile and keep it from moving down below the root zone and going into the rivers and streams.
So we have DEQ, and I'm not sure who else is involved, but they're testing some springs down the road here and throughout the area. And we know that some of the N is going down to an impenetrable layer, and then that water is collecting underground, and then where it comes out in the spring, they're testing that water and it's carrying high levels of nitrogen.
Right.
So our effort is to try to break up that application and do it in such a way that the plant has a chance to use it all before it runs down and runs off of these ridges that are rock.
And fall banding with single disc 1890 openers did occur here about October 20th to 26th. We banded right into established winter wheat. That moves the timing window way back, makes the nutrients that much more crop effective, so you're not putting nutrients in the ground too quick, too soon. You're able to time it to the crop.
Right.
And I think this will prove that you can raise a good crop and you don't need to use as much nutrient. And we'll have to evaluate a little bit more. We'll get some more data together. So Alex, you suppose we ought to go to Spokane?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.